Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Punk Rock Review, home of a bunch of opinionated crap you don't care about, also the home of the feedback you provide that we don't care about, keeps us on an even playing field, and we like that. So what have we got in store for you today? Well, today we're going to be talking about one of Nintendo eShop's little sales, man, that they've been having, randomly, periodically, man, throughout. But there's a game on there, man, that on occasion finds its way down, man, in the super affordability, kind of price point, and that is Plague Road, man. So we picked it up, they had it for $1. Worth $1? Yeah, man, definitely worth $1. Probably worth up to about $5, man, to the right kind of niche market. Over that, it's really, you gotta really be wanting a game of that caliber and type, to pay usual kind of asking price for it, things like that. With that being said, is the game a must-play? Plague Road is not a must-play. There's a lot of shortcomings to it, man, as far as, how their kind of force combat works, and even though there's a lot of replayability kind of with the, randomly generated levels and things like that, there's a lot of annoying grind elements to it. There's also some elements, man, where, like, the game doesn't hold your hand to have you figure out, but it really kind of detracts from the gameplay, especially in, like, the building up of the town and things like that. So, is it a must-play? No. Is it a should-play? Yeah, man. Especially at a lower price point going in. The game, isn't completely broken. The game does not make sense, to where you can't, have some good fun with it. The issue with the game is that, for us, it's a holdover game. It's one that we'll revisit and go through, and have we beaten it? No, man. Probably, I don't know if we'll ever beat the game, in the amount of times that we'll revisit it and things like that. You never know. We might get there eventually, but as far as that kind of like driving factor to make you want to go through and complete it and stuff, for us it's not there. Is the game horribly broken and bad? No, especially at $1, man. If you can get in on it like that and you do enjoy turn-based combat, you'll dig it, you'll have some fun, things like that. But as far as the overall kind of gameplay itself, man, it gets a little tedious at times, and kind of can drive a wedge. But it is the perfect game to get, especially at a lower price point, to visit and go to when you're in between more major titles, and things of that nature, and like kind of, I want to say like higher caliber games and, things of that sorts, your AAA titles and all that. But for what it is, not completely broken game, man. It works, it plays, definitely worth going in. The art style's amazing, and as far as all that kind of like offerings in the game, music's not bad or anything, but as far as the gameplay, it gets a little tedious and arduous at times to kind of go through, especially in the kind of more annoying circumstances. So you go out into the randomly generated world. They say, you come across an NPC, and, you have to do a task, and your task pretty much entails having the perfect party, putting together out of the, survivors that you've rescued and things like that, in order to help out this character and, get them to come to your village and, build your town up and things like that. The drawback to it is if you do not have the perfect party on you at that point in time, even though it's not impossible to go back out, because it's randomly generated, the NPCs are not going to be in the same spot where you left them before. So you'll come across one, they'll say, hey, you need to have X, Y, and Z with you in order to help me out and me to go to your town. So if you don't have X, Y, and Z with you then, and you go back to the town, get X, Y, and Z, head back out, you're going to come across a different NPC, with a different, kind of X, Y, and Z that they need in order to be helped out and go back to your town. And, you end up kind of having to hunt around and grind a lot longer than, I think that you really should have to, as far as the progression works, and, whether it's, kind of intentional game design to kind of make it a little more of a lengthier experience, that very well may be. Like we said, the game's not broken, but, there are some annoying factors, man, especially in the, inevitably unavoidable battles and stuff that you get into. On occasion, you're just looking to get and you know, kind of progress the story, and, you know, you got these dudes, like, beelining it, like, the minute you're in any sort of, like, proximity to them, and it's like, you're not avoiding fights in this game at all, even if you wanted to, you know, you might look out here and there and be able to jump on a different screen, but, you know, on your way back, you know, you're gonna encounter them again, man, they're gonna get you, and, you know, is it horrible? No, it's the game, you know, it's how it's supposed to work, and, you know, kind of force you into these situations in the battle and things like that. But there are some drawbacks and shortcomings to it. But neither here nor there. At a lower price point, definitely a you know, game worth having, man, to revisit. We'll revisit it, man, in between titles and stuff like that. But, you know, the art style and everything that is good about the game alone, you know, isn't enough to keep us on it from like A to Z to finish the entire thing in one sitting. You know, we'll revisit it and go through it at times. But, you know, it's not calling us to go back on it. So, take it for what it is. That's our thoughts on it. But yeah, Plague Road, man. What do we think of you? Well, if this is the road, and, you know, you were walking down a side of it, say there you are there, and, you know, the game itself, we'll just put a P on it, you know, was on the other side of the road. Well, if there was just like $1 that you had to pay to cross the road in order to get the game, worth it. If it was like, you know, $20 to cross the road to get the game, you better really like the type of game that it is. Is it $20? No, I don't think so. I think it's like regularly about $13. We don't know. We don't do research or anything, but it is on sale a good bit of the time, and it is worth picking up at a sale price, you know, and kind of having some fun with. But anyhow, is what it is. Have a good one. You probably didn't. Catch you next time. Probably won't.